Corporal Drillers with the Nampa Police Department. Today we're excited to talk to you about the technology we use in law enforcement. Here in a few minutes, I'll introduce you to Officer Beason with the Nampa Police Department to talk about his drone program, and Sergeant Mike Phillips to talk about our robot bomb program. Hi, Corporal Drillers again with the Nampa Police Department. This is Arturias. Arturias is a Belgian Malinois and German Shepherd mix. He's from Czech Republic, and I've been with Arturias for approximately 3 years now. Arturias is a dual-purpose dog, meaning that we use him for apprehension work as well as finding illegal narcotics on the streets. Arturias has been certified through the state of Idaho and is currently also working on his tracking certification. Arturias is about an 85-pound dog, so he eats a lot of food at home. Both my boys at home, he comes home with me every single day, and they feed him and take care of him and help with him. When he's at home, Arturias is just a pet. He doesn't really do much training at home. We allow him to have that decompression time and just time to be a dog and have fun. But he's with me almost 7 days a week, whether he's at home with me or on the job with me. So we've become pretty attached to our canines. Arturias is also currently one of our canines that is on the tactical response team with me, meaning he'll go into the buildings with the SWAT team. He's also been able to train in a gas environment, as well as locating individuals when they leave those structures and buildings. For short, we call Arturias Artie because it's a little easier to remember. I'd like to do a demonstration with Arturias and show his ability to find the odor of illegal narcotics. Somewhere on this truck, we've hidden some drugs, and we're going to see if Arturias can find it. One thing we're looking for is a change of behavior. That's when a canine gets into that odor, starts acting a little different because of that odor that he recognizes. His final alert should be a sit, and then he's rewarded once he's able to find that odor. Zoot, 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 find it. Hey, go boy, go, find it. Zoot, zoot. Zoot, zoot, zoot. Show me. Good boy. At the Nampa Police Department, we have a total of 9 canines. This is Canine Drake and Officer Berrier. Drake is a black lab. We have several different breeds of canines that we use. The main thing we look for in a dog is a high drive, whether that's for hunt drive or toy drive. It's one of those energetic dogs that loves to play, are the best dogs for us to use.
I'm Officer Beason with the Nampa Police Department. I'm one of our school resource officers, but I'm also part of our SOG tech team. And our tech team is in charge of all the cool little new innovations that are coming to policing. We get to work with all different sorts of cameras, hidden cameras. We work with robots and drones. So our department has somewhat of a fleet of drones. Myself and 3 other officers carry these medium-sized drones inside our cars, and we can deploy those at any time. They're used for exigent circumstances, emergencies, lost children, warrant services, maybe a car chase or somebody who's jumping over backyard fences and running from the police. Then we can throw a drone up and get eyes in the sky. It's not used for Big Brother. We're not spying in your backyards or anything like that. It's used for special circumstances. This drone here, this is our largest drone. It is the Matrice 210. We use it for larger events. It has infrared camera on it, which means it can see heat signatures, and we can set it to pick up different heat signatures. So if we want to see anything between 80 degrees and 100 degrees, if we're looking for a human in a field or something like that, it can pick that kind of thing up. It also has a camera that we can attach to it that has a 30 times zoom, which means we can read a license plate from half a mile away. It's pretty impressive when we get it up in the air. We also have smaller drones that we use indoors in case there's any type of barricaded subject inside a house and it's too dangerous to send officers in. We have small drones that we can search the house with to make sure rooms are clear before we send officers in. And that's kind of similar to what we use these little robots for. You can see it has a little gun on the front. We don't use it as a gun that shoots lasers and water pellets. It's made as a toy, but we use it because it has a magnificent camera on it. And so we can search through houses to find barricaded subjects or injured subjects who might be in a house where it might be too dangerous to first send officers in. We also use our drone program for fire recreation. If we can get to a fire while it's still burning, we can show the overtop and the spread of the fire so they can figure out how it started and how it moved. If we get to the incident afterwards, maybe the day after, we can still see the wreckage and burning from the top and see how the fire spread. And it's been useful during our fire investigations. We'll also send our drones out during major crash incidents. If there's a major crash that needs extra photographs, we can send the drone up. It can take tons of different photos and then compile those photos into a 3D image on the computer and kind of give you a 3D model of what the crime scene actually looked like along with actual photos. All of our drone operators here at the Nampa Police Department have received their Part 107 license, which means we have gone to the FAA and taken a semi-portion of a pilot's test to be able to receive those licenses. And we follow all FAA rules and regulations. And we have documentation to make sure that we are not intruding on people's privacies when we do these types of things. But now I want to give you a quick little demonstration about the drones and how they fly.
My name is Sergeant Mike Phillips with the Nampa Police Bomb Squad. This is a F6A robot. We've had this robot for about 15 years now. The robot can do several things. We use it for barricaded hostages situations, explosive breaching of doors. If there's pipe bombs or other explosives, we use the robot instead of before a person goes down to make it more safe for the bomb technicians. Some of the things the robot has a camera up here. It has a drive camera down there. It has another camera here on the mast, so it can raise up approximately 6 feet, so we can look in windows and other things. We have articulators. The robot can actually raise up off the ground with the articulators. If we need to look in windows that are higher up, we can do that. We can use this for explosive breaching. We can put explosives on something to countercharge something if we need to blow something up.
Sergeant Dallas Weaver of the Nampa Police Department. I'm a member of the Bomb Squad, and I'm here to explain our 3D printer that we have right here before you. It's made by Raise 3D. It's a printer that can make a 12-inch square item. It's a pretty big print bed. The reason why we have this is we're able to make parts for equipment that we may have broken. For instance, this helmet that you see here, we had a clip and it maintains the visor onto the main helmet, and it recently broke. So one of our guys that's pretty good with the 3D printer, he was able to make a new clip on here that we're able to put back on here, and we'll heat up and kind of round it on there, and it'll actually save us quite a bit of money instead of sending that helmet back to the company. We're also able to help the rest of the PD make specialty parts and other things that's requested of us. And it's made by a filament that's on the back of the machine, and it's pretty useful.
So with the Nampa Police Department, this is my patrol vehicle. We're going to briefly walk around to the outside and then look inside and see all the instruments that we use on site. Welcome to my office. This is the inside look of a patrol car for the Nampa Police Department. We have all kinds of tools that we utilize here. Most important two are our radio. It's inside the dash here, which you can hear in the background, as well as our computer system. Our computer system is able to detach, go on calls with us, and reconnect and use the keyboard. As a call comes in the Nampa Police Department, our dispatch center, it comes to my screen here. I am then able to go to our map system, locate where that is on the map, and travel fast to that location for a good response time. This patrol car is unique because if you see behind me, is Arturias.
Hello, you guys have been watching an edition of This is Nampa Community Engagement Interviews Junior. My name is Amanda Bizeau-Nicol. I work in the Youth Services Department, and I'm here with Corporal Brad Childers.
Hello.
And we are going to talk a little bit about the things that you guys have been watching, all the tech and what goes on with the Nampa Police Department. And I'm just going to be here to ask him a few questions. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. So first of all, how about you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Do you have a favorite game or sport to play? And did you have one as a kid?
Yes, absolutely. I think my favorite sport to play growing up was football. I'm from Idaho, born in northern Idaho, a small town, so outdoors has always been a big part of my life as well, whether it's fishing, hunting, or camping, or just being outside playing with friends, or now with my family.
Cool. And since we work for a library, I do have to ask, did you have a favorite book?
I did. It was Hatchet was a favorite book.
Hatchet is a good book. I like that book a lot. Did you grow up wanting to be a police officer? Was that always a thing you wanted?
It was not. I think there's a lot of different things I wanted to do growing up. I didn't become truly wanting to be a police officer until about my first year of college, when originally I wanted to be a firefighter. of all
okay.
things. And then as I got more experience with the firefighters and realized the police department was actually in the community, driving around and responding to crashes and responding to incidents right on scene and getting there very much quicker, that's when my interest kind of intrigued about it. And it grew immensely from there.
Okay, very cool. So tell me what kind of your typical day is like as a police officer then.
I think that's my favorite part about being a police officer is we don't really have a typical day. It changes every single day. There are certain things that happen. I come to the police department, I bring my canine with me, I put my uniform on and all of our gadgets. But from that point on, my day can be different every single day, whether it's something exciting or even better, being able to share my experiences with the kids.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so we talked a little bit about Arturias, right?
We did.
And we saw him in action. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about him? How did you get connected with your dog?
So Arturias is my second canine that I've had in law enforcement.
Okay.
And it's an interesting process. We try very hard to match the handler with the dog and vice versa. It's a true combo pair that work together. He's with me more than I'm with my regular family because he's with me at home as well as at work. So that relationship is crucial.
Right.
He's got to be able to trust me and I have to be able to trust him. So as we are growing together, you will see improvements in both as a handler and as the dog develops as well. He's been with me for a little over 3.5 years now, and I couldn't ask much more from him. He's been a great dog. It's a lot of fun too, as well as impressive of how they're able to use their noses and detect so much for us.
Yeah, that was a really neat experience to watch. What is he like at home?
We often are asked what it is like to have a police dog at home.
Yeah.
They are full of energy. So they have to have high drives, high energy, nonstop while they're at work and ready to go. It's no different at home. So it's a lot of time of playing with the ball, fetch. We don't do much training at home. We allow him just to kind of be a dog and have fun at home, but high energy and sometimes pretty destructive of digging holes or.
Oh no. So if we have some kids who want to become police officers, what kind of education would you recommend for them?
One of the most important classes that I didn't realize at the time that I took through high school and college was English. Where every day we're writing reports on stuff that we do. So those reports are not only seen by fellow officers or ourselves, they're also seen by the community, they're seen by a judge, and then sometimes by a jury, and also prosecutors and defense attorneys. So these reports have to be accurate, your grammar has to be very clean, and make sure that everything is nice and neat when it's done. You really don't think about that when you're responding to a call of what that has to look like when you put it on paper. You visually see it, our cameras pick it up, but the words mean a lot when you put them down on paper.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought about that. I approve as an English major. All right, how about you tell us a little bit more about your uniform and how it's designed to help you with your job? Can you explain a little of that?
So this, I'll stand up briefly for this. This is our patrol belt. On my belt, I carry a taser, magazines for my firearm, a radio on the side, as well as 2 handcuffs in the back, and a flashlight. All these tools are used every single day for the most part, whether that I'm checking the quality of them, making sure that they're going to perform correctly. It's kind of our Batman belt. We want to have our tools with us when we go out and respond to stuff. The other piece of equipment that I'm wearing is my vest. This is a ballistic vest to protect myself. It has a camera that is installed inside of it for our recording devices, our body cams for live footage, and then as well as little flashlights and my radio on top. My radio has a wire connected to it that runs to the back so that when I hear radio traffic from dispatch or other officers, it's not loud and coming out and a little more clearer into my ear.
Right, okay. And now, of course, we got to talk about your police car. So what technology is typical on a police car, and how is it designed to help you with your job?
Yes, the technology from when it even started in police work has grown immensely. The most incredible part about it is our computer system. So when someone calls 911, dispatch then creates a call. We're able to see that call as soon as they create it onto our computers in our vehicle. It's also directly linked to our map, which is in our car, and GPS systems. So we're able to see where that call is located at on our map within the city of Nampa and respond quickly to it.
Since we've seen so much of the technology at work in this is Nampa episode, I need to ask you if you have a favorite piece of tech equipment that is used here.
Those drones are pretty cool.
They are cool.
This is amazing. Bob robot, and as a member of the SWAT team, this helps us immensely when the bomb techs operate it. But something about being able to fly a toy up into the air and use it is pretty fun.
Yes, that is cool. I like those demonstrations. Can you tell us some ways that you and Arturias have helped children and families in Nampa?
Yes, Arturias is certified in multiple areas, so we also use them as a locating tool. So if children are lost, we can use Arturias to help find him. Or people with disabilities such as dementia, they get lost, we can use him as a tracking tool or an area search dog. So he's very helpful for the community in that way. I think the biggest tool that most of our canines can be for the community is their friendliness. They're able to walk up to Arturias and play with him with a toy and allow me to explain what his jobs are, and that he's not this big scary dog that's just going to bite everybody. He can do that if we need him to, but he's also a very passionate dog.
He's got a job.
He's got a
He
job.
knows his job. What would you say is the best thing about being a police officer?
I think the best thing is kind of what we covered a little bit ago as far as how different my career is from day to day. I'm outside whether it's nice and sunny like today with nice weather, or if it's extremely hot, or if it's extremely cold and wintry conditions and lots of snow. We're in all aspects of that. That's something that I love about Idaho is the 4 seasons of it. And I get to play outside every day in it.
How about if Arturias could speak? What do you think he would say is the best thing about working here?
Arturias would probably tell me the best thing about working back here is when we get to go take our breaks and just play with the ball. He would also probably tell me when we are searching for things that I need to listen to him more. Point out directly where things are at.
Okay. And how about one thing you wish more people knew about the Nampa Police Department?
I wish they knew all of our abilities to help our community. I think sometimes police officers are looked at as just responding to an incident that has happened, but there is so much work that goes forward to help prevent things from happening. And I would like for the community to be able to see all the prevention things that are taking place.
And what is something that you are proud of about our Nampa Police Department in particular?
Probably the support from our community and the way we work with our community. There are very few agencies across the United States that has the support from the community like we do here at the Nampa Police Department. We are constantly receiving cookies or gifts inside our briefing room, which just in turn makes us want to then serve our community that much harder and that much better.
Yeah, well, that's awesome to hear. I'm glad to hear that. I think that's all I've got for you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us here. Bye.